The graphics are sick, by the way. Like this year we go with like the space theme. Actually, every year with space theme, but like we took it to a whole nother level. All right, man. It was over here. You guys can't see it, but I have it like at the bottom of the desk.
Go on.
But the graphics, people took it up here. I'm a little bit above the desk now.
Okay, go on.
But then the graphics animation people took it to a whole nother level.
Okay, go on. Some more.
It's so sick, man. It's sick. These
so
graphics,
cool,
man, they're so cool. Oh, they're so cool, man. I can't believe it. It's so sick, man.
Yeah.
Jinro is the yellow Terran here in the bottom left corner, walling off immediately with the supply depot. From Team Liquid, Jonathan Walsh, once the former Hope, still trying to reclaim and climb up the Korean ladder. In the bottom right, we have MorroW, Stefan Anderson, Mr. Anderson, the blue Zerg in the bottom right corner. And both players, again, are from Sweden. Very, very well-established players in the StarCraft 2 scene, and I can expect a great series. And the coolest thing that I always like about Jinro is that you can expect good games because he's a macro player. And he's one of the first Terrans to really play macro and stick with it. And I've been watching his replay. Team Liquid released a replay pack of him. I watched some of his games, and he's just been doing the same exact thing, but outplaying Zergs in the mid and late game. Yeah. And it's been very impressive. And
Zerg has gotten a pretty big buff in that mid-end game stage with the Broodlords not being so susceptible. Ghost got significantly weaker, so normally Terrans have to rely on getting a huge macro. Now, it's not too hard to do that. You get a ton of orbital command centers, but it's still getting to that point in which you have those excess orbital command centers can be very challenging. And Jinro is able to take it off by not even going that route. It's actually really surprising because I feel like a lot of Terrans these days actually dodge that area right when Broodlords hit and they have a good infestor count. Jinro's ready to go pound for pound and take it to his opponent.
It's always a slugfest with Jinro. Like I've been watching a lot of his TVs and he's been really pushing wave after wave of Marines and tanks and trying to whittle down Zerg rather than even just try to go for timings necessarily. It doesn't matter what point in the game. He is willing to just kick into high gear. MorroW going for the pool hatchery. Now he has no gas. We've seen, this is very typical, some Zergs delay gas for a long time. And, you know, Shakur's Plateau, what are your thoughts especially, let's take it on MorroW's point of view. What does he need to do for a map like this?
He definitely has to do something a little bit either, I don't want to say archaic, but a lot older, which is the Muta style. And the main reason why I was thinking archaic is because Mutas, I feel like, have been figured out really well. To the point where I feel like no Zerg should really go Zergling, Baneling, Muta. It's very hard to transition.
Will disagree with you.
It's very rigid. I know, but that's why he's still in.
That's why he's still stuck in platinum, right? Is that what it is? Is that the same?
I'm just kidding, Vitter.
You're so mean.
I love you, Vitter.
So mean.
No, he's Masters.
Yeah, he is.
Why
Masters.
would you call it? See,
you're the one.
you
You said 2 nights ago that he was stuck in platinum.
Yeah,
and then
but
Rotterdam was stuck in low masters.
That's because I'm trolling them. That's
Whatever,
different,
dude.
okay? When I'm in a public forum, I'm not gonna say they're in platinum. See, Froden, you're the BM one.
What?
You're
the one bringing up.
BM.
I was just bringing up what you said in the past. No biggie. MorroW is going to get double queens. Now he's spreading out his creeps very aggressively early on, and he has 3 queens. Actually, he has 4 queens. I apologize for that. Now 4 queens is pretty good. You can use it to kind of section off those Hellions, and Jinro sees it. He puts up the ramp, and MorroW is blocking both entrances very adamantly. Now Jinro did go for a Reaper expand. He wants to also scout enough to see if he can go for 3rd orbital command. It's just something that Jinro loves doing. I've watched 3-4 of his TVZ replays, and he's gonna try to see if he can play a little bit more greedy. Oh, he's gonna move up when the Spine Crawler is out of position, and MorroW is forced to evacuate immediately.
Very bold move from Jinro. There could have been a ton of things on top of that ramp, but he's gonna risk the dice a little bit. We know that MorroW does prefer that macro style of play. So he'll try to squeeze out those drones similar to, you know, players like Idra. And I guess, you know, Jinro is willing to roll the dice at that point in time. There could have been things like Zerglings, an additional Spine Crawler, and then you're just taking unnecessary damage.
Jinro does use his extra minerals not for 3rd command center, but for 2 additional barracks and the starport, so he is teching. A little bit of a lag spike there. Jinro is also getting stim. He got stim actually a long time ago, so it's actually about to finish up momentarily. While we do see MorroW teching up to lair really quick while getting a hatchery in his main base. So he's going to stay on 2 base. Now the question is, will he use his gas for things like Mutalisk, like we were saying, or will he go for a really fast infestation?
So he's going for double upgrades at this point, and a Baneling's Nest. I'm really interested to see. Now, Baneling Nest, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're being aggressive. In TVZ, it has a different purpose. It's actually more for the defensive Banelings. And Banelings are really good at cleaning up things. A lot of pushes, especially in conjunction with really, really spread out creep. You can see MorroW has been so good with this. He's able to intercept a lot of pushes that could potentially come up here. And what do we have? Yep, he's going back to the archaic style of TVZ, ZVT.
The Halcyon days of yore.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about why I think this is sort of an outdated style. I feel like it's been around in rotation for, all ZVTs way too long. And Terrans have a really, really strong understanding of when to actually attack and how to attack. Another big thing is it doesn't have the ability to really progress into anything further. So let's say I go into Broodlords. The Mutas are kind of useless. Corruptors serve as a much better purpose for that anti-air, that AA. And on top of that, they're like, they don't have much ground fire power. They're just not great units at that end game stage. So if you want to go Mutas, you have to end at sort of that mid-game stage or just get an overwhelming advantage against a Terran. And it's hard to do that, honestly, against a lot of these Terrans these days.
Well, we do see Jinro moving out to the middle of the map. He's trying to expand, or he's preparing an expansion behind this, so he's going to pressure Zerg and try to see if he can really contain it. In fact, he's just cleaning up creep tumors. MorroW is going to try to stop him. In fact, the Banes are moving in behind, but without centrifugal hooks or even Baneling speed, metabolic boost isn't even done researching. MorroW isn't going to be catching any Hellions anytime soon.
Yeah, and I like what Jinro did there. Just get rid of all those creep tumors, make it really tough for your opponent to keep that up. It weakens a lot of stuff. As we were talking about, the pushes get a lot stronger. Jinro doesn't have to worry about walking on creep all the time, although he is right now. Is there going to be a scan?
No, he's just trying to deny this drone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and he has to be really cautious, though. Zergling's speed will finish momentarily, and Zerglings on creep are the fastest thing in the game at around 6.1. So Jinro does fall back. Again, it was just light pressure to try to see if he can get his expansion up. He is teching up to siege mode and getting double eBay, which is a pretty good thing to get, especially because Zergs love their double Evo chamber upgrades. Now, you were talking earlier about how Mutas are kind of outdated, and they don't tech switch in anything, and that's actually really important to note because, when you get those Zergling Infestors Baneling style, those Infestors are, you can keep them until late game. They have a lot of future potential. So
on top of that, these delayed Muta styles, which are pretty necessary in taking your third a little bit faster than normal. If you waited until the Mutas came out at like 10 minutes. Oh, wait, hold on that.
Oh. Those Hellions are running as fast as they can in one direction, but some of them are getting caught behind. And
can he get home in time?
He doesn't want to tighten the noose just yet. Does manage to pick off a couple of Hellions. Jinro still forced to play a little bit more defensive. He knows Mutas are out too, so he's getting turrets in good positional zones. Look at that. But already starting to fortify the right side.
This is what's so important, this drop. And this is the main reason why I think Mutas are so underpowered in this matchup. You have to keep those Mutas to defend for quite a long time. This third is under serious fire. Now, Jinro should not attack here. He should actually wait until the Mutas reveal themselves and then attack. Actually, he's going to go for it.
Oh, okay. So he's going to stim immediately. Oh, the drones are transferring. Luckily for MorroW, it's only 4 drones.
And it's going to be enough.
Yeah. And he's going to split his army up preemptively. Jinro.
No, he won't be able to.
But still, a lot of Banelings were used. The medevacs do get cleaned up. Jinro didn't really expand behind this, but for good measure, he saw the army of MorroW. MorroW was gearing up for a huge defense. And you can see he didn't really drone much. I think 7, 8 drones just popped, and he equalized with Jinro.
Jinro is over the maximum saturation for workers. You can see 63. You only need 60, 30 per base to actually, what is that? Maximize your saturation or maximize your income.
Max out, basically. You can't get any. You literally can't get anything else.
And he's still making SEVs, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, he's gearing up for a third expansion. Move out.
Yeah.
And he's been eyeing this for a while. He's been flirting a little bit with it. You know, he asked for this third's number, didn't really get a call back, but now he has it, and now he wants to hold on to it. And Jinro, he's taking a pretty good position. I like that it's here and it's not, you know, to the top left corner of the map. And it's going to make it a little bit harder for the Mutas to dart in and out.
Another big problem with Mutas is their upgrades. You don't really upgrade Mutas that well. You don't get 3-3. But do you know what you do get upgrades on? Marines. 3-3 upgraded Marines against 1-0, 2-0 Mutalisks don't do that well. That's another big problem.
We'll find out how well they're about to do. The Zerglings are clumping up perfectly for the tank. The Banelings have still yet to engage, and Jinro looks like he clumped a lot of his Marines, taking several damage, or actually, sorry, tons of damage onto his Mineral Line and SCV, but let's see, the Banelings are about to finish, and there are still enough Mutas here to really take out some important units.
Yeah, but it looks like Jinro will have to evacuate out of that third. Now you can see, although it looks like MorroW got ahead by a lot, look at his third. It's pretty small. It doesn't really have a lot over here. Additionally, the supply counts, they're pretty similar, 101 to 134. That might seem like a big advantage for MorroW, but it's actually not, because Terran's normally a lot more cost efficient.
Yeah.
Zerg need to get this advantage in supply when they're playing this style. They need to have all these Zerglings out and expendable. That way they can just do wave after wave after wave. If MorroW allows Jinro to sit up yet again, he'll be looking at another really tough engagement where he could potentially lose a lot more Mutas and Zerglings than he needs to. That's why he needs to attack. He needs to press his, I guess, advantage. I wouldn't even call it that, but he needs to press this on a little bit faster than he is right now before those bunkers get up. Ah!
Well, he's coming in from kind of an awkward angle. If he wants to hit the third, he could try to see if he can bait out some of the units. He sees the attempt at fourth as well.
Oh, nice.
And the force cancel. Jinro, his third looks tighter and tighter, and I like the fact that he's putting up, you know, just random buildings to try to obstruct some of the pathways.
Let's go ahead and look back. Still on Lair Tech. MorroW is already 17 minutes in, and he's still on Lair Tech. That's really tough. And that means he can go into his 3-3 upgrades, which he so desperately wants. This one Viking will be picked off. There's a ton of Mutas over here. Now, here's a thing that Jinro is not doing that needs to be talked about. He's not making Thors.
All right, well, he has a lot of turrets and Marines in defense. +2 armor will finish. They do have +2 immediately. Well, before MorroW even has +1 fighter carrier base, he's just going to dive it. Jinro forced to evacuate his main base and streamline reinforcements. There's no counterattack anywhere. I was expecting MorroW to try to see if he can run by or something, but just trying to harass with those Mutalisks. He's still in full-out unit production, 34 Zerglings NQ at a time. He's got 150 Zerglings out on the map.
Wow, that is crazy. 74 supply, I should say.
Oh,
going to
goodness.
Just Zerglings, but you can see the Muta's doing so much damage. Now we're going to see a big run-in. Let's look. Income tab showing 67 hours to 55. So
a
they're pretty
drop
close.
in the main. Oh, he's going for the spawning pool. Then MorroW can't make 200 Zerglings. No!
All right, well, down goes that.
Aww.
And the Thor is going to be the saving grace.
I wanted 200 Banelings, man. That would have been so epic. Mula's still harassing the natural and picking off whatever they can. MorroW's been doing a fantastic job. He's playing over 340 APM right now, just trying to multitask everything. And of course, he has to keep tabs on this drop here at the natural. Marines going at it now. If they clean up drones and target the Spire, that would be critical for the upcoming minutes. But Jinro does get discovered, and the medevac will escape.
And Jinro is playing this right. He doesn't actually have to engage against his opponent.
Yeah.
He still has 30 supply to go. He can just go and take his fourth base. That is correct. Get up to this 3-3. That's probably one of the most important things for him to get. And then play it from there. Because Zergling Baneling Muta doesn't play well at that super endgame stage.
Here comes Onslaught, 120 Zerglings and 56 Banelings. MorroW is crashing into everything he can see. Jinro doesn't have enough at the third. His natural is under siege. MorroW does pull back momentarily, but he is not done yet. Jinro's natural is going to be busted wide open without permission. And MorroW gonna toast a bunch of SCVs as Jinro cannot escape the onslaught.
Wow, and MorroW actually was able to kill his opponent's orbital command center at the third.
Wow.
But do you know who comes out on top from that? Jinro. Look at the supplies, 122 to 102. MorroW had to end the game there. if he wanted a very big win. Jinro coming out of that alive actually means he's ahead. Let's look at the income tab real quick. 56 to 41. Of course, there are two orbital command centers for now. 2 mules. No, mules! God, we know from mining out, it's so important for those to actually be working, or else you end up losing out like Todd.
Yeah.
Or Bitter.
Or Bitter, yeah. Oh, that's so mean. Why are you so mean to Ben all the time? Banelings are in the middle of production, and MorroW forced to cancel. And Jinro's picking a perfect time, and just like you said, you know, MorroW needed to do way more damage. His mules are cornered, and there is a Thor also thrown into the mist to absorb some of the Baneling and push back the mules. MorroW forced to evacuate, and this is what happens when you stay on Baneling too long without doing a good amount of damage, as Jinro spreading out his units in a very nice formation, and MorroW trying to see if he can pick off some things from behind, but it's not going to be enough. He's still struggling. His third is already killed, and Zerg, actually, well, he has a 4th base, now it's his 3rd base, and MorroW really can't protect that base any longer.
Yeah, this is so tough for MorroW. Unfortunately for him, I mean, it looked really good, but honestly, this game has been so close the whole game. And I feel like Jinro not getting his 3-3 actually hurt him quite a bit, but it looks like MorroW will get cleaned up here. Now, he is doing a good job in cutting the supply, stopping any of these reinforcing Marines from actually congregating with the rest of the units, but is it going to be enough? I highly doubt it is, but the Banelings might be a game changer here if they could connect.
Oh, they do connect on a group of units there, but a good save there from Jinro, keeping close attention to his Marines. Of course, his main occupation is through the top right base. His Marines are splitting up, trying to run away from the Banelings as fast as he can. Jinro now free. Have some load time with those drones.
Unfortunately,
right.
Jinro isn't actually macroing from this fourth hatchery.
Oh wait,
his
he's mined out.
Third SCV, third base. Oh my God, Jinro. He's actually not paying attention to his macro. He needs to start transferring these SCVs ASAP, because here's the big attack. This trade will be pretty good for MorroW. He'll clean up everything over here.
The Mulisks do snipe the tank, and there's only a few Marines left. Jinro's still not really transferring SCVs. Needs to drop mules or something. There it is, finally starting to transfer SCVs. The base in top right is cleaned up, and that's really big as well, because MorroW for a while was not able to really mine. Now, both these players still relatively low income, but I think MorroW knows. He says, wait, Jinro should be pushing with way more, because, you know, the whole idea is Terran is the reinforced push is what kills you.
Well, look at that income tab. Not looking good for MorroW at this point. You know, and with the Planetary Fortress up, it's a pretty big advantage right now for Jinro, because what can you really make when you're going Zergling, Baneling, Muta, and you're on low economy to kill Planetary Fortress? It's so difficult to do anything. I mean, Zerglings just get absolutely blasted away. If you want to make Banelings, it's actually a pretty huge amount of Banelings that you need. I think it's like, what, 18, 19, something like that? Actually more, because the Planetary Fortress will one-shot any of those Banelings, and it does a little bit of area effect. So you don't really want to be committing too much over there, but you have to, because it is a PF. So basically you say, you have that expansion, I have to play towards the later game stages. Is this really a place where MorroW can play towards that end game stage? I would actually say no.
After my calculations, no.
No.
MorroW is getting Burrow, so he can try to see if he can sneak in some Burrow Banelings. Now, they've done some pretty big wonders now. There are some pretty tight areas in Shakur's Plateau, especially if MorroW can bait it with Mutalisks. And I've seen pretty pimp plays before in past with Burrow Banelings, Andre. I hope MorroW can pull some good tactics here.
We'll see if he can. I mean, he has to play a very, very economical game from here on out. If he's not cost efficient with his trades, there's no way that he will be able to come back into the game, let alone win it. So we'll see.
MorroW is expanding again to the top right corner, trying to see if he can get both expansions at the same time. Scan does reveal several key tumors, but doesn't really see too much of the Banelings from MorroW here. Jinro actually is before caught out of siege mode, and the Zerglings are Baneling rolling in, but there's just not enough units here to take on this army.
No, there isn't. You can see the Marines actually shot all of those units down before he was able to do anything. And there are those burrowed Banelings. The scan does pop. Let's see if he sees him. No, he doesn't. It's right outside of the range.
Yeah, wow. Jinro's not going to see it.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait. Where'd he go?
Well, MorroW does, he actually unburls on those banelings and put it at the ramp. He wants to bait even closer to it, and there's just 5 Marines. MorroW wants to wait for a more opportune time, but Jinro's not being over-aggressive. He's just sending little by little.
This is intelligent. You
Yes.
don't want to be doing something like just a movie. Oh! Ouch.
And that was a good
again.
pack of Marines, but at the same time, Jinro still, adamant about cleaning up this hatchery. MorroW, for the most part, just can't really produce anything. He's got so much gas. Another Baneling explosion there, trying to cut off reinforcements with his Zerglings in the middle of the map. But Jinro just has way too much. He's got a 1 base economy, now he's 2 base economy. He floated his main orbital command to the supposed third, the conventional third. And Jinro's just going to take the game. GG.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jinro
Walsh
will take game number 1 against MorroW. I think he is the slight underdog. Just because
slightly,
of his,
though. I mean, Jinro's still really good.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. He hasn't been showing results. Jinro. Yeah. He hasn't been showing results, so people think he's a lot worse than he really is.
Yeah,
but
he's
I'm
training
sure
in Korea.
Exactly. That's the big thing. So he's trading with the top players in the world. Yeah. So I really feel like Jinro doesn't get enough credit than he deserves. Well, no, doesn't get enough credit than he actually has right now.
Yeah. So Jinro takes game number 1 on Shakura's Plateau. What map will MorroW choose? We'll find out in just a second. Thank you so much to the sponsor of that game, Azo, for providing these monitors. And also, Azo was pretty involved in the DreamHack tournament that happened this past weekend. They are great for esports. Go support them at azo.com. We'll be back with more in game number 2 between MorroW and Jinro. Don't go anywhere. More action from NASL 3 coming up next.
Did you? What?
That was farther than Ben's. That's what I wanted.